Good evening, students. Today we are going to study the lesson number 1, module 1, lesson 1, public finance. That is introduction to public finance. The word public finance means the financial operations or activities of the government. And what are the financial activities? The financial activities of the government means the income and expenditure policy of the government. That means income from where the government is getting income from taxes, from different types of tax. And the government, what the government is doing, government is spending this income upon the public, because the aim of the government is maximum social welfare. Okay, so the Dalton, that we can say the financial operations or activities of the government is known as public finance. And Dalton has given, the economist Dalton has given the definition of public finance. That is, public finance is concerned with income and expenditure of public authorities and with the adjustment of one to the other. That means, what is the meaning? It means the income and expenditure of the government, such as central, state and local government. So the word public finance means what? Financial operations or activities of the government. Financial activities and operations means what? It includes income. It is known as income and expenditure policy of the government. Now, the next topic is, what is the scope or subject matter of public finance? That means, what is the content? Subject matter matlab what we are going to study under public finance. It is also known as scope. Got the point? Question may come, scope or subject matter, the same meaning is the same. That means in this word we are going to study what is the content of the subject, or what is the meaning of public finance. In public finance, what we are going to study. So the Professor Dalton or the economist Dalton has given 4 areas of public finance. They are as, first one, public income or revenue. So what is this public income or revenue? The main source of government income is what? Tax. And the other non-tax revenue, that is fees, fines. Fines means penalties for breaking the government laws and regulations. That is fine. So the government, in this subtopic, public income, or in this content, public income or revenue, we are going to study the different sources of income for the government, such as tax, fees, fines, etc. It also includes, in this we are also going to study the canons of taxation. Canons means principles of taxation and the different types of tax. You might have studied in a direct, you may be knowing that the main types of tax, direct and indirect tax, and their impact and incidence and the effects of taxation. So, scope and subject matter means what we are going to study in the public finance. That is the meaning. Understand? So, first thing what we are going to study, the public income or revenue. The first topic is public income or revenue. And what is that? It includes the income of the government from taxes, fees, fines. Fees, fines are also known as non-tax revenue. Understand? The government is getting income from tax also as well as non-tax. Okay. And in this we are also going to study the canons, means principles of taxation, different types of tax, its impact and incidence, effects of taxation. Okay. The next topic is public expenditure. The money collected, what is public expenditure? The government is getting revenue from the tax as well as from the non-tax source, and the government is spending this money upon the public. That is known as public expenditure. In this also we are going to study canons. Canons means principles of public expenditure, types of public expenditure and its effects. It also includes the reasons for increase in public expenditure. Reasons for increase in public expenditure means why the public expenditure is increasing day by day. Understand? That is the meaning. That also we are going to study. What are the reasons for increasing public expenditure? That is the second content or the second subject matter of public finance. Who has given this? Professor Dalton. And the third scope or the subject matter is public debt. So in this what we are going to study the different types of public debt, burden of public debt and the effects of public debt on production, consumption and distribution. Okay, so that is the third subject matter or scope of public finance. And the fourth one, that is financial administration. It includes what? In this what we are going to study the collection, custody and disbursement of public money, coordination of public expenditure and management of public debt. It also includes what? The preparation of the budget. How the in every year the end of the Feb month the budget comes out. That is, it also includes the preparation of the budget, execution of the budget, and auditing the finances of the state. So these are the four subject matter, or we can say the scope and subject matter of public finance is divided into four. That is, first one, public income or revenue. Second one, public expenditure. And the third one, public debt. And fourth, financial, or we can say financial administration. Okay, now we are coming to the functions of public finance. What are the functions of public finance? The functions are mainly three, and they are, first one is allocation function. Allocation function means we always used to study in economics that human resources are always scarce. So it is scarce means what? Limited. So it is very important for the government to allocate these scarce resources between public and private goods. We always already studied the different classification of goods, isn't it? Public goods, private goods, luxurious goods, necessary goods, etc., etc. So government has to decide how many resources they have to allocate for the public goods and how much for private goods. Example, public goods we can say railways, defense, etc. And private goods, so the normal the commodities we are using. And the lack of information on the part of consumers, and always the market is not playing in this marketplace an important role, but sometimes there are market imperfections because on the part of consumers they may not have any more information about the market. So it leads to what? Imperfections in a market system. So in order to remove these imperfections, government role is more important. And what the government is using? Taxation and public expenditure. Taxation and expenditure are the important fiscal instruments that the government is using to influence the allocation of resources in the economy. It means that the government may impose high rate of tax upon luxurious goods. Luxurious goods means what? What are the luxurious goods? Four-wheeler, air conditioner, etc., etc. These commodities actually, who is consuming more? Consuming means who is using more and more? The rich people, the upper class. Okay, so upon these commodities the government will impose high rate of tax, and they will take excess money from the rich people, and they spend this money upon the poor people in the form of, we can say, social security measures. Okay, so these are the, in this way the government can use the taxation and expenditure and policies to allocate the scarce resources in the economy. And the next one is, second function is distribution functions. The first one is allocation function. That means allocation of scarce resources between public goods as well as private goods, and the allocation of resources between luxurious goods and necessary goods. And the second one is distribution function. What is that? Distribution, the main aim of the distribution function is to maintain equality in the distribution of income and wealth. So in this case, what the government is using, or the public finance using, redistribution of resources. Redistribution of resources, the meaning, the same thing just now I explained, that government impose high rate of tax upon the rich people, and the same income, or their income, excess income they are getting from the rich people, is redistributed among the poor people through expenditure on social security, measures. Social security measures means what? Free educational facilities, the old age provision of old age pension, unemployment benefits, etc., etc. So that is known as distribution function. And why the government is redistributing the scarce resources between the individuals? In order to maintain equality in the distribution of income and wealth. That is the aim of the government, to maintain equality in the distribution of income and wealth. So for this purpose, what the government is using? Government is using the fiscal instruments, that is taxation and public expenditure. And the third and the last function is stabilization function. Stabilization, when the economy will be unstable, when there is inflation and deflation. When there will be inflation and deflation, the price will not be stable. During inflation, the price level is high, and during deflation, the price level will decrease. So in order to maintain price stability and full employment, what the government is using? Government is using, or we can say public finance is using, expansionary and contractionary fiscal policy. During depression, the government will use expansionary policy, that means expansionary revenue and expenditure policy, and during inflation, the government will use contractionary fiscal policy. In this way, these are the, we can say that these are the three main functions of public finance. First one we studied what? Allocation function, and the second one distribution function, and the third one stabilization function. Thank you, students.